My girlfriend just gave birth to our first child. I know I'm not the biological father and I revealed I knew as soon as she gave birth. I'll try to keep this short because I'm planning to go to a bar soon. I found out when she was about 6 months along. The guy, Brian, approached me at my work. "Are you Sarah's boyfriend?" I said yeah and asked what he wanted. He said he was sorry that he had slept with her and swore he didn't know that she was with someone. I don't believe that. He then pulled out his phone to show the texts between them. They had been sleeping together or linking up for at least a year. Then she found out she was pregnant and they came to an agreement to just pretend the baby was mine. In return, she wouldn't lose her perfect life and he wouldn't be responsible for a baby. I knew it was weird. We had been having problems trying for a baby and all of a sudden she got pregnant so easily. But he explained that he had been thinking about it and he recently became a Christian. He said that he couldn't live his life knowing that I was living a lie while his child didn't know their real father. So yeah. I told him I'd keep in touch, and to not say that he said anything just yet. I've had a lot of time to think but ultimately I decided to wait until she gave birth. To hurt her in her most vulnerable moment. I'll spare the details, but she went into labor, baby was born, and was taken to the NICU to be monitored for a bit. What should have been a beautiful moment of me holding my baby, was the most heartbreaking time of my life. Just knowing he was not mine hurt me. Once she was sewn up and comfortable I started packing up my stuff to leave. She asked where I was going and I just told her. I know I'm not baby's name's father. You can act all shocked but I know. Just ask Brian to come, I'm positive he'll sign the birth certificate. Then I left. She's been calling my phone over and over, even sending texts as I type this, and has even gotten her sister to call me a few times. It was hard pretending these last few months but I think I'm satisfied. I feel really heartbroken though. I was planning to propose to her on the day our baby was born. I was gonna make her the happiest woman ever. Oh well. I'm going to go get shit-faced now. Small update, head hurts, but I'm home and safe. I wasn't really expecting this to gain as much traction as it did but I'll clear up a few things. Brian is going to be in the baby's life if it's his. I don't care what anyone says, I'm sure the kid isn't mine. I'll go get tested but me and Brian have been in contact since last night and there isn't a doubt at my mind. For those of you calling me a psychopath or whatever, I don't really care. You'll all forget about this post in a day anyway, while I'll have to live with this shit for the rest of my life. What I did wasn't amazing but I don't care. All I ever did was treat her amazing and this is how she pays me back. If you think this is fake, go read something else. Doesn't matter to me. Story 2. My wife gave me chlamydia. I am livid. The only person I have had sex with within the past 5 years has been my wife. I thought I had a bladder infection or UTI, and scoffed when my doctor thought it was chlamydia. Well, here we are. I got the test results yesterday and I have chlamydia. Decided to start snooping and it didn't take long to find the text messages between her and her boy toy. My guess is she doesn't even know she had it as well. She thinks I stayed up all night working, but little does she know I've already emailed her little lover boy's wife all the text messages. I warned the lover boy's wife that he's been sleeping with an infected woman and to get herself tested. I'm still deciding how to process this all but wifey's going to wake up to my positive test results and the messages of her infidelity. The sun should be coming up in the next hour or two, and probably will be the end of this marriage. Update. My last post got an unexpected amount of attention. I guess you guys do deserve an update. The short of what happened was, my wife gave me chlamydia. I found out she was sleeping with a coworker and planned to blow our marriage up that night. Thankfully, my drunken mind decided to wait. I had gotten into contact with the coworker's wife, giving her evidence of what was going on and informing her that the two cheaters probably both had chlamydia. I did this because I suspected my wife was cheating with more than one person. In her texts, her lover boy had asked her if he was the only one she was screwing at the time, and she gave a non-answer. I know this dumb broad well enough that I knew she was screwing someone else as well. Luckily, the coworker's wife got back to me first thing in the morning to explain that she figured he was seeing someone else. The two of them were privately separated at the time, and their separation agreement stated they were not to see anyone else at the time. She had her own suspicions and thanked me for reaching out. We agreed that she would not confront her husband until I could cover my own ass legally in exchange for the evidence I had of their affair together. She also confirmed to me that her husband didn't have chlamydia, at least when they were still together. I decided to not confront my wife that morning. I pretended everything was fine and dandy while I looked for lawyers and dug deeper to figure out the mystery of the chlamydia caper. I installed a keylogger on my wife's personal PC and quickly got access to a secret email. Where guess what, my wife was talking with someone on a hookup website. The best part was that it solved the mystery, as the man informed her he tested positive for chlamydia and that she probably had it. Even better, these emails were from months before I was infected myself, meaning she knowingly infected me with chlamydia. Disappointed that it was not in fact the chlamydia fairy that caused all this, I have a lawyer. It's not looking well for my soon-to-be ex. The fact she knowingly infected me made my lawyer salivate, along with the mountain of proof of her infidelity. The house we live in is my parents', and we've kept our finances separate since the beginning. Her chances of getting much, if anything, out of me is pretty slim. I served her the divorce papers last month. I bought a security camera on Amazon when this all started, saying I was going to put it over our front door. I hid it in the living room the morning I decided to confront her. I decided to take one of the top comments from my first post on how to drop this on her. We were sitting and having breakfast when I said, "So, I'm curious, does, coworker, know you infected him with chlamydia as well?" The short of it was she cried, apologized, tried to claim it was a one-time thing. I brought up that this was her second affair, tried to claim she loved me, tried to blame me, screamed at me that I don't make her feel loved, yada yada, you get it. I served her the divorce papers and her eviction notice right after. I'm staying with my parents until she's out of the house in a few weeks just to be safe. I'm juggling if I want to try and press assault charges against her for knowingly infecting me with chlamydia. As my lawyer said, it should be pretty easy to prove with the emails we have. Overall though, I just want her out of my life like the STD she is. Story 3. My wife met a guy through a friend of a friend and they hit it off right away, started texting each other. This guy was married, but he and his wife were polyamorous. I was immediately uncomfortable with them texting each other because of that, but she said, "Oh, it's just a friend, am I not allowed to have friends?" And I trusted her. Before long she started asking him questions about how their relationship worked. He started recommending her books and podcasts and etc. about polyamory, and she ate it all up. Even though I told her from the beginning that was not the type of relationship I wanted, so there was no point in her learning all this. That soon turned into "you don't control me, can't tell me what to read, or what to listen to, etc." Well, of course this culminated with them wanting to date. And she wanted to have sex with him, she certainly made no secret of that. And she pushed me hard for it. She started saying things that I still find very painful to think back on. She said this is who she truly was, who she had always been. That she needed it to be happy. She called me jealous, and controlling. She called me codependent for wanting monogamy, and talked about disentangling our lives. She told me about fantasies she had involving him, at least she was honest. This went on for quite a while. I fell into a very bad place mentally. Finally I asked for a divorce. Told her I didn't think we were compatible anymore. I felt like I couldn't let myself love her, because I was hurting so bad from the things she said and I couldn't trust her not to continue hurting me. Cue shocked Pikachu face. And a total 180. She recanted it all. She didn't need to be poly, all she needed was me. She loved me so much and would never hurt me, ha. She hurt me more than I've ever been hurt in my life. She went into therapy. She blocked him. And then things just kind of went back to normal? She chose me and gave up on the idea, and I made a conscious choice to forgive the whole situation. Which took me some time and therapy of my own. But there was nothing for me to really say to her at that point. She said she was racked with guilt, and I saw no point in piling onto it by venting anger at her. So I vented to my therapist instead, and eventually my anger and pain, mostly, dissipated. Still I wonder sometimes, was it infidelity? Definitely nothing physical happened, she is too honest to hide that from me. I don't even think they got very flirty or sexual with each other, I am not totally sure on this one. She offered to let me read their messages but I had no desire to, I just wanted to move on. On the other hand, she definitely became very emotionally attached to him, or at least to the idea of dating him, enough so that she was willing to hurt me and put our marriage at risk over her fantasies. I realize that to a large degree it doesn't really matter. It's just, I feel such a kinship with the people and stories in this sub. But at the same time I feel like an outsider, almost a fraud, because I'm not sure there was any true infidelity, maybe I'm just exaggerating my situation. Thanks for watching and please subscribe to support our content. Have a great day.